What's up, everybody? This is JJ with Thrivistry, and today I wanted to talk about the order that we do the different parts of our classes, more specifically why you need to do skill work earlier on in the hour rather than later. So I think it's a really great trend that we're seeing in a lot of gyms and a lot of programs where there's a lot more dedicated time to skill work. And so most of you guys probably know I have a martial arts background. You know, I practiced and taught martial arts for about 20 years, competed in mixed martial arts and all that stuff. And there was a very deliberate order that we did things. And that's because when you're learning technical movements, you need to have a fresh mind. And if you take somebody and you work them out a whole bunch and then you try to teach them really intricate movements or have them try to practice repetitions, they're not going to absorb that information. Their body is not going to develop the neural pathways the same as if they did it when they were fresh. And so if you're familiar with our programming, we'll do some sort of dynamic warm-up, then we'll do some sort of mobility, and then we'll do skill work, right? So we call it a skill practice warm-up. And this is a very important part of the programming. In fact, I think it's one of the most important parts of the programming, and what makes Thrivistry different is that we have dedicated time to practice. And what this allows us to do as coaches is really let people play around with the movements, give them very specific and customized coaching cues and progressions, and let them learn these movements without worrying about the clock. Now the problem is if you always try to do skill work, like if let's say that day there's power cleans in the workout, so then you spend 10 or 15 minutes trying to teaching power cleans and going over all these different drills and coaching cues, they're going to be sandbagging. They are not going to want to do a bunch of power cleans before they have to do power cleans in the metcon. And so people are not going to learn as much and they're not going to get the repetition. Now, what we do is we'll program skill work the day before or the week before or somewhere in between where people can practice these movements separate from the metcon. So then they're much more willing to play around with it and try a new variation or try a new progression than they are if it's in the same day. And we do that earlier on in the class, and the same thing goes for lifting. We do those things because it's safer and people can learn more when they're fresh. If you try to do that stuff after a metcon or after a lot of other volume stuff, they're not going to learn it as well, and they're not going to get the same benefit from that practice session. So keep that in mind. Keep programming skill work in there, and if you guys do Thrivistry, now you know why we always do it toward the beginning. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.